an inmate at the Douglas County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or press 1. To prevent calls from this facility, this call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring, recording, and the location of your phone will be obtained. For more information about our privacy policy, please visit www.connectnetwork.com. After the beep, press 5 to accept this call. This call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring, recording, and the location of your phone will be obtained. Stay on the line to accept this call. Thank you for using GTL.
I don't consent to recording of my call. Anything I need to know?
Yes, there is. Here goes. You ready? Okay.
Yes.
It has come to my attention of the following. Sue is free and under very tight communication restrictions while under probation. She is not allowed to send or receive email or even get on the internet. Next point. Sue is not allowed to talk directly or even indirectly to Mike Parsons and or Pat Parsons. This is critical that nobody under any circumstances relay any message to Mike or Pat from Sue, or she can be put back in prison for a parole violation. Number 3. The U.S. and Canada are both arguing on extradition as both countries want to bring charges against her for her alleged role in sending a kidnap team to arrest Mike's judge. This is number 4. I had to delete 11 of your videos, Mike. I had over 600 from May the 18th to May the 26th so that nobody could try and spin the narrative that Sue is communicating to you through me. Let me continue and then we can talk about that. Okay.
Got it.
Okay, Mike and Sue, you have your own hate team now. There's an entire team of people that are assigned to you. They have their own YouTube channel, and they're getting thousands of views by putting up unflattering pictures of you. They're mocking you, and they're playing your trial transcripts, and they're getting thousands of views. They're not shadow banned like me. Sue is, so she's awaiting her new charges. She's trying to fight her past conviction. And then please pray for Sue, Mike, and Pat. But this whole thing about them trying to see that you have your own hate team, Sue has her own hate team, and if I say anything regarding even her name or bring up the name of that child that was involved, they call the judge and try to spin it like I'm conveying messages, and it can be turned into a matter where it really hurts Sue.
Okay, denying of free speech, denying of communication with witnesses for your own defense is criminal. It's unconstitutional. It's a violation not only United States Code but also Canadian Code. Someone accused is innocent until proven guilty, and they have a right to their defense, and they have a right to their witnesses, and they have a right to communicate confidentially with those witnesses. I'm sure somebody can probably look that up and verify the cases that support that.
Yeah, I have no doubt that you are right. I have no doubt that there's legal precedent to, back up everything you're saying. But I'm just saying it has come to my attention that
you can post this, right?
Yeah, I'm going to post this, but from as we go forward, I won't be giving any detailed updates on Sue. I'll give general updates on what I can find in the newspaper, and I don't think I've broken anything that would cause her to be in trouble. But
you have 60 seconds.
They'll try to spin it. They'll try to spin it.
Right, and the RBN group that you said was going to get involved or help you, whatever, have they done anything?
I have been copying Al Whitney. One of the videos that I deleted was your appeal to Al Whitney. So at some point, maybe throughout the course of this weekend's going to be tough. Let's remake videos for you to people, to ask people to help. And if you want to make another appeal to Al Whitney, but they do mention. I tried to think. None of the people, whether it be Stat Miller or Vince Finelli, there is one guy that's
exposing these hate groups. The media needs to expose these hate groups coming after people that have a right to communicate and a right to be assumed innocent until proven guilty. And for the sheer fact that neither one of us have done anything, everything that we're accused of is actually recognized as being lawful in the Constitution.
Yeah, this is the modus operandi of the...
Thank you for using GTL.
You know, I can't tell you how frustrating it is to try to have a deep, involved conversation with a friend and an innocent man in jail and be limited to these freaking phone calls that rape and pillage you for money, and then they cut you off in mid-call. I can't wait for justice to come like a mighty river on the Bureau of Prisons, the Department of Justice, the CIA, and the FBI. May God Almighty get every one of them for the wickedness they've done to all these innocent men and women.
Hello. This is a prepaid debit call from...
It's me for just a minute. I've been moved to Omaha.
An inmate at the Douglas County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or press 1. To prevent calls from this call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring, recording, and the location of your phone will be obtained. For more information about our privacy policy, please visit www.connectnetwork.com. After the beep, press 5 to accept this call. This call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring, recording, and the location of your phone will be obtained. Stay on the line to accept this call. Thank you for using GTL.
I don't consent to recording my call. Yeah, this is more of this anti-American European Nazi group that's out there trying to prevent freedom of speech, freedom of association, freedom of conscience, let alone the recognition of the Constitution and the right to be presumed innocent to proven guilty. And, you know, the fact is that we're just dealing with hardcore criminals. But, yeah, if you can post this information, even though you've had to take down the other information, at least this will let everybody know just how dangerous and evil these people are, just how much they hate the fact that we're exposing their corruption, and they do not want a Native American nation, a sovereign Native American nation, to succeed and stand on their own. They want everybody dependent upon them. They are, in fact, tyrants.
No, you're right, Mike, and this is a pattern that I see overall. They've banned me from communicating with Schaefer Cox. They threw him in the hole. They banned me from putting out Jeffrey Winehouse's videos when he was defending himself on the cops who tried to kill him. They banned me from speaking to a man by the name of Jason Gerhardt. The warden banned me from speaking to anybody or communicating with anybody at his prison. They simply cannot stand voices of truth advocating for the innocence of the unjustly incarcerated. This freighter dude who seems to be assigned to you sent me a message. It appears that they have all the time in the world to monitor all of your courtroom proceedings. I guess he sent me a audio called Parsons 9.mp3 where Don Cincy is defending you, and he writes, despite the lies he tells you, the attorney is going above and beyond. So I'm just letting you know that you have an entire team of people that have, I guess, all the time in the world to listen to all of your courtroom recordings, and they put up unflattering.
Rudy, you need to review that audio. If it was from the one from yesterday, you need to review it and listen to the fact that the one thing that the U.S. Attorney freaked out about and had the most time spent on was the fact he's trying to prevent me from accessing the law library, where I asked for more time so I can work on my cases, which I have a right to do. He's demanding that I be denied, and the judge is kind of going along with it. Well, they need to make this library open for everybody. He's not. They're acting like I'm the only guy in the library, that I'm preventing other people. Well, the library's got maybe 30-some-odd chairs in there for people to get in front of computers, and most of the time it's just me and maybe two other guys because nobody else is trying to get in the library. So I'm not preventing anybody from getting in that library.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, I'm trying to bring it up. Let me play just a smidgen of it, and maybe you can tell me if you recognize some of the audio.
Well, one more thing I need to ask you. If you can reach out to Debbie and ask her about my phone. My mom said she tried to call the number and some woman answered, and I just tried to call it and it rings instead of going to voicemail. I need to know that Pat has not given up.
You have 60 seconds.
You need to know that Pat has not given up what?
I need to know that Pat has not given up my cell phone number.
Has not given it up. Okay. What does that mean?
Is she still paying for an account with that phone number on it?
Okay, I'll try to find that out. She has not replied to me about her affidavit. I've asked her where I can get a copy of that. All she says, Pat did tell me that she doesn't have it. Let's see if you recognize this audio.
Right, but I can still nonetheless get some information from the attorneys on what we plan to do with those. And the others, I'm clearly going to ask you what we're doing. We can report. Sure.
But I'd like to have a couple of days to think about the 404B part of it.
Yeah.
Was that from yesterday? I mean, it's hard. There's no date on. Oh, it is May 20. No, I can't tell when the date of this was recorded. Maybe when we have more time, I'll play more of it for you. But yeah.
I don't know if it's yesterday or not. They would have had to have said at some point during it. But,
Okay. All right.
Thank you for using GTL.
Oh, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating to try to like get all this in, and there's all these kind of nuances and deep meaning, and it's like you get 3 minutes or however long it was to just get everything said. As oh gosh.
Omaha.
An inmate at the Douglas County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up. This call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring, recording, and the location of your phone will be obtained. For more information about our privacy policy, please visit www.connectnetwork.com. After the beep, press 5 to accept this call. This call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring, recording, and the location of your phone will be obtained. Stay on the line to accept this call. Thank you for using GTL.
I don't consent to recording of my call.
I found the part that I think you might recognize. It's less than 10-15 seconds.
I don't have much time to do this.
Okay. All right.
I don't have time to do this.
Okay.
Please, if you can reach out to Debbie and ask her if that phone number is still there, if Pat's still paying for it, and if not, what happened and why. But if she's still paying for it, is she answering the phone or is somebody else using the phone? If she's still got the phone, if she's got it under the old account where she's paying $50 a month, if somebody can find her a prepaid account that's like $14, $15 a month, I know they're out there. All we're trying to do is keep the number. I've had that number since 1980.
Okay.
Everybody in the world knows me through that number.
Okay.
Everybody knows Pat through that number.
Gotcha. So we need Debbie to try to keep that number if at all possible.
Need Debbie to verify if I've still got the phone number, and then if I do, if somebody can find a low-cost cellular phone service anywhere in the country, we can transfer the number to a new account.
Gotcha.
Where it's only $15 a month instead of Pat's paying $50 a month now. I told her to change it, but she never did.
Okay.
She's so busy with stuff, she just doesn't do anything. And
yeah.
Little thing. This is a little thing.
Yeah, no, I understand. You want to keep your same number so you can have your contacts. I'll reach out to Debbie as soon as we get off the phone. I'll send her a text.
Well, it's that
Just a few.
I think the news story here is the fact that there is a group set up, an organized operation where they're scrutinizing everything I say and do. And where are they getting these photos from? Are these photos from jail, or what are they?
Yeah, my wife had the same question. They are photos of you in jail. It looks like you've been through hell and you've been through a tribulation. And it's like, where did they get the photos inside jail? How come photos from it?
Are they photos while I'm in the jail, like in the jail cell, or where are they from?
Hold on. Yeah, this one looks like you're walking down the hallway of a jail cell. It doesn't look like a mugshot.
Okay, so somebody's taking photographs of me while I'm walking. So is it here at this jail?
I can't tell, Mike. It's a yellow, kind of a yellow brick, huge brick background. There was a wooden door. Looks like a thermostat, and
you have 60 seconds remaining.
Sue.
Yep. Oh, Sue's looks more like a mugshot.
What color am I wearing?
You're wearing a white T-shirt, and you got like eyeglasses hanging around your neck. You got a gray beard and a mustache.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, that's the day I was arrested.
Okay. All right.
Right. I had just basically was traveling fresh off the farm. I've been working nonstop for the previous 5 months. Didn't have time to stop and shave, let alone do much else.
Okay. Well, these people, they get 500 views, 1,000 views, 2,000 views. I mean, I don't know where they're getting all these freaking views at, but they got a lot of time to monitor your court cases.
Can people post to that?
You can leave comments to it.
People can comment and post to it. They need to post to it. Hey, look over here at the real truth.
Yeah.
This is the smear job. Look at what's really going on. They're trying to, as you say.
Thank you for using GTL. An inmate at the Douglas County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or press 1. Your current balance is $65.14. This call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring, recording, and the location of your phone will be obtained. For more information about our privacy policy, please visit www.connectnetwork.com. After the beep, press 5 to accept this call. This call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring, recording, and the location of your phone will be obtained. Stay on the line to accept this call. Thank you for using GTL.
I don't consent to recording my call. Sorry, I was out of funds to.
No, that's fine. I don't mind paying for this one. Do you mind if I play you the first 15 seconds to this audio and you can tell me if you want it uploaded? Because they probably already uploaded it, but I'm just curious if you have any. Okay.
We're on the record in case number 4:17 CR 3038, United States of America versus Michael Wayne Parsons. Counsel, enter your appearance. Please stay seated while you do so, beginning with the government.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jan Sharp appearing on behalf of the United States.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Don Shenzi appearing as counsel for Michael Parsons.
All right, and Mr. Parsons is also here and present. The purpose of this hearing today is to, first of all, it's a Rule 17.1 hearing. It's essentially for me to get up to speed on how this case has progressed so far. And
does that ring a bell with what's been played so far?
That was Friday.
That was Friday. Okay.
Yesterday.
Now, is there any reason why that shouldn't? I mean, it's probably already up on his channel, but is there any comments that you would have about that thing and anything we should take as a highlight? I haven't listened to it yet myself.
Yeah, I was two things. Number one, I was denied the right to be heard. I was not allowed to speak. And two, you'll notice that the largest portion of that was basically for the U.S. attorney trying to find a way to deny me access to the library.
Gotcha.
The U.S. Marshal Service is the tool of the U.S. attorney. The U.S. attorney has been given by this judge the ability to decide where I'm being held. The U.S. Marshal Service manipulates these facilities because these facilities, I'm in the Douglas County Jail. The Douglas County Jail gets paid by the U.S. Marshal Service so much a day for me to be here. So they say, we want him on maximum security, and we don't want him going to the library or this or that. Well, they have a hard time denying me certain things, which I otherwise have a right to do. The way they manipulate it is by putting me on max and trying to manipulate it that way. So, U.S.
How do they justify you putting you in max security since you don't have any? I mean, that doesn't make any sense at all to me that they would justify that putting you in maximum security situation.
I'm in a room right now with about 30 guys sitting here in an open area, and there's one guy here that's for a high-profile case. I won't say a name, but he's basically accused of taking out his wife.
My goodness, wow.
Permanently. And there are other people in here who, you know, for various reasons are here. Most of them are here for nonsense, believe it or not.
Yeah, no, I believe that. I believe that.
But we're all together, and other than the people that are on meds that have really serious mental problems and the few that are possessed, nobody in here is a danger to anybody.
Yeah.
But be that as it may, and I have, you know, on my listing from Tipton County, you know, it says no violent history and no escape risk, period. But yet the feds have deemed me to be a flight risk and a danger to the community and all this other stuff, which is nonsense, simply to be able to deny me access to freedom and communication. Because otherwise, the bottom line is I would be free right now because I would have had a parole hearing from the bogus charge of failure to appear in Tennessee. I would have been out on parole, and this place would have never had me locked up in the first place. Remember, Pat was accused of attempting to kidnap a judge, and she remains free. So the reality is if they really thought she was trying to kidnap a judge, no, they would not have let her remain free.
Right.
Well, here it is. I'm falsely accused. I'm accused of effectively exercising a constitutionally recognized right to bear arms. That's what I'm accused with. So for somebody accused of exercising a constitutionally recognized right, I can't get out from behind these concrete walls.
Right.
Though I'm not a threat to anybody, they want the public to believe that, and they want to act as though that is the case. It's basically they're forcing their will upon me, even though their will is a fraud and a lie. This is what sociopaths do. And if you listen closely to that message, you'll see that that judge is totally biased. She is going to support whatever the U.S. attorney wants. And she said, well, she doesn't have the right to rule on a motion allowing me or requiring me to be able to access the law library. But as far as Don Shenzi going up and above and beyond the call of duty, that's nonsense. I had to direct him to correct his own motions that I got the motions the day before the deadline. And the motion that I filed, he never referenced. But the fact is that his motions didn't even reference me as the ambassador, did not reference Sue as the Chief Justice, did not reference Stanley Stump Sr. as the hereditary Grand Chief of the Chilcotin Indian Nation country of the Chilcotin, minimizing our status and minimizing the fact that the issue is that this place doesn't have jurisdiction. And he's basically been forced upon me to represent me. And I made it clear. I said, don't say you're my attorney. And he had in his motions that. And he said, if you listen, he says, I'm here as his counsel.
Yeah.
All of his motions that are probably available on Pacer, he should have changed that to counsel, or he was asked to have time to change it. Because I said, don't say that you're my attorney, because I will not allow that. I will argue that you're not my attorney. I asked for legal counsel, period. I'm not being represented, period.
Yeah.
If you start saying that, I will stand up and I will demand to stop right there.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. I understand. I understand where you're coming from.
See, I think the guy's riding the fence. I think he's trying to give the appearance that he's trying to go along with assisting me. But at the end of the day, he's given me no counsel.
Yeah.
He will not answer my questions. I asked him the form of court. He wouldn't answer it.
Well, all of these bar attorneys, they swear an allegiance, and they're not going to do anything that jeopardizes their own paycheck.
Right, and see, therein lies the problem. It's not about the truth. It's about their paycheck. It's about their making money at the detriment of everybody else. What I'm going through out there right now is what everybody else potentially that speaks up will have to deal with. I'm a test case. All these other people that are locked up are test cases. We're all in the same boat, being destroyed because of a corrupted system that is being controlled by the Bar Association that has created a fraud out of what was a constitutional republic with a constitution that protected our rights. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. The judicial system, we need a massive criminal justice reform, not just prison reform, as President this Trump guy and Jared Kushner, I believe his name is, they're pushing for prison reform. We need criminal justice reform. We have way too many innocent people in prison, and these judges and these prosecutors need to be held accountable.
If anyone has access to Jared Kushner, I'd like to talk to the man and let him know what's really going on, because he doesn't have full disclosure of what's really going on in here. He might have a little bit of knowledge. He doesn't have a clue as to how they're railroading innocent people and warehousing people, and there's no mechanism to undo the false narratives. I've got a transcript right now that has totally been stripped of the facts that prove that I was never ordered to appear in court. Those questions that I asked those three witnesses are not in the transcript. They've scrubbed the transcript of all the proof that proves I'm not guilty from Tennessee. And I asked this lawyer, what do I do to correct this record? Well, you write a motion. Okay, tell me what. Well, he won't.
Mike, you're not the first person. Dr. Ken Hovind, also known as Dr. Dino, in his transcript, the judge called him worse than a rapist right in front of the trial and everybody. There were 8 people that signed an affidavit saying they heard the judge call him worse than a rapist, and yet when you look at the trial transcript, it was nowhere to be found in the transcript for that day. So for when you tell me that they have scrubbed the trial transcript, that's very much common in these wicked courts. They simply will not allow anything that they don't want to allow that makes them look bad, so they just take it out of the transcript. It's a criminal, it's a felonious offense to modify a court transcript like that, and these people need to go to jail.
Right.
Yeah.
And what did Christ say? Other than lawyers, who did he give a curse and a woe to? The scribes.
Yeah.
Who are the scribes? The court reporters are scribes.
There you go. There you go. Amen. Amen.
All right, now, and of course the Pharisees are these people that are getting on YouTube and trying to demonize us. They're, trying to call us lawbreakers. They would be the Pharisees. Woe to them too. Anything that you share with Fanny or Stanley, there's no court that said you can't communicate with Fanny or Stanley, is there?
No, but I just find them very hard to get a hold of. I call the number in Canada, and the voicemail is always full.
What
and
about,
yep.
All right. What about Jonathan? Can you communicate with him?
I don't see there's anything wrong with me communicating with him, but I can't give even the appearance that there's messages being passed directly or indirectly. Indirectly with stress between.
Well, you have no control over that. All you can do is share information that would effectively be transferred to Stanley or Fanny, and and also I would want to see the court order, because when you told me her conditions the other day, it had nothing to do with not talking.
No, I agree. Yeah, I thought so too. When I first saw it, I thought it was. I didn't think it involved you and Pat, but my opinion, it has been brought to my attention. That's the way I'll phrase it. It has been brought to my attention.
Did you actually see a copy of the court order for the sentencing?
It was brought to my attention in a way that's even better than the court order.
Well, whatever's in writing is basically what it is.
Yeah, I understand.
If it's not in writing, it's not. Here's the thing: they might tell somebody, "You do this, and we're going to do this." But if it's not in writing,
let me put it this way: if there was a legal court order that said that Mike Parsons should do something, and then Mike, and I don't really understand all the details of the legal stuff, but Mike Parsons calls me, and Mike Parsons tells Rudy XYZ, I'm going to believe Mike Parsons. That's what we're dealing with here. You know what I mean?
Well, by law, what matters is what's written, what's filed in the court written. And if somebody tells her something above and beyond that, that's not right. See, this is the tricks that they play. Your standard boilerplate parole stuff or probation, like her, says stay away from what they claim as the victim. I can see that. Stay away from SB and family. And stay within a certain area, whatever. But all these other peripheral things that have nothing to do with that case, realize what's going on down here has nothing to do with that.
No, I understand.
That happened in 2014 or 15, and so therefore,
here's the deal.
Court has no reason to say anything about me or Pat.
I understand, and the enemy, the people that are directing the show within the FBI and the Department of Justice, they want to destroy your guys' support systems. They want to destroy you and Pat Parsons' marriage. They want to destroy your will. They want to take away anything that you can hold on to. And I see exactly what they're doing. The fact that they got this whole system set up. It just is what it is. We do the best that we can, but they want to have us fighting amongst ourselves, and you should have done this or you should have done that, and I'm just trying to do things, and my loyalty first and foremost is to Jesus Christ, but then I want to listen to you as a prisoner. But I got 3 different prisoners in this situation, and so I'm doing my best to listen to all 3 prisoners, But I gotta respect, not putting any of you in jeopardy to the best of my ability.
Well, what you just said should be resonating over In Defense of Humanity and all these other radio shows, and John B. Wells, and Caravan to Midnight, if he's still around, the Clyde Lewis's of the world, Mike Rivero's of the world, John Statmiller's of the world, dare I say Vincent Finelli's of the world, Alex Joneses of the world, the Power Hours, all these, all these need to hear that message that they are effectively in full-scale military attack trying to destroy the ability that a human being...
You have 1 minute remaining.
And his wife have to try to fight their case. They're taking away every ability that you have to fight. Not only are you being forced to go into an arena where your hands are tied behind your back, your feet are tied, you're shackled, literally shackled, but your mouth is gagged. You can't fight, you can't speak, you can't do anything, so therefore, by default, you lose. And in the order that this brief that I got from the U.S. Attorney, he's basically citing in the law where it says that all he has to do is accuse me, and the judge will instruct the jury that they have to, by law, convict me. And if they don't, they can be convicted of a crime by not convicting me just because he says that they have to convict me. That's tyranny, hardcore tyranny in your face. This is Nazi Germany all over again. Rise up, stand up, wake up, people.
Amen.
It
is the Gulag Archipelago, Michael, but we're going to pray for you, and you're always in our prayers, and I've got to step away from the phone for a while. We'll sync up in a few days, and, you're always in our prayers.
Thank you for using GTL.
All right.